and welcome to the Moffitt Method Podcast, where we dive deep into the world of strength and conditioning and pushing the limits of athletic performance with your host, Joe Ryan. Each week, we'll explore the strategies, tactics, and innovations that make athletes stronger, coaches smarter, and the sports we love even more thrilling. Whether you're a coach, an athlete, or just a fan of the game, we've got something for you. We'll be talking to some of the brightest minds in the industry, sharing their insights and experiences, and uncovering the methods behind the madness of high-performance sports. So tune in, turn up the volume, and let's get ready to learn, grow, and be inspired. This is the Moffitt Method Podcast.
Coach is a veteran sports performance specialist who serves as the first ever district-wide strength and conditioning coordinator for South Lake Carroll Independent School District in Texas. Appointed to the monumental role in June of 2023 through a unique funding initiative by the Dragon Touchdown Club, Coach Castleberry is tasked with designing, implementing, and overseeing the comprehensive athletic development of all Dragon athletes across all sports from grades 7 through 12. With over 2 decades of coaching experience, Castleberry has a deeply rooted background in Texas high school athletics. Prior to taking the helm at South Lake Carroll, he spent 7 years as the strength and conditioning coordinator at Northwest High School. Throughout his versatile career, he has coached a wide array of sports, including football, baseball, softball, and basketball, giving him a rare holistic understanding of what it takes to develop multi-sport athletes. At South Lake Carroll, Castleberry's impact has been immediate and transformative, working alongside head coaches, including Executive Director of Athletics Riley Dodge. He has modernized the district's weight rooms, including extensive renovations at Dawson and Carroll Middle Schools, and shifted the entire department's athletic culture. His philosophy extends far beyond weightlifting, as he focuses on competitive high-performance model that integrates strength training, nutrition, refueling strategies, and injury reduction protocols in lockstep with the medical staff. Coach Castleberry holds a Bachelor of Science in Exercise and Sports Science from Texas State University and a master's degree in Education Administration from Lamar University. He is a certified strength and conditioning specialist. Beyond the field house, Doug is supported by his wife, Casey, and their 3 sons, Jack, Chase, and Camden. What a fantastic bio with our next guest, Coach Castleberry. Coach, welcome on in, man. I'm very, very happy to have you on this day off we both have. And, beautiful Friday for us out here in Louisiana. Y'all got a little bit of rain going on, though, huh?
Yeah. It woke up some lightning pretty early this morning. Not that we need to be woke up. That internal alarm gets you every time, but we'll take it. 20 years ago, I probably would have been mad about it. But as I get older, it makes the grass grow.
Oh, yeah. I know the feeling. My alarm was set to go off a little bit later than usual this morning. And sure enough, at normal time, my eyes popped open. I'm like, well, I guess we're starting the day today.
Yeah, right on. Go ahead and start the coffee pot. Yeah,
man. So how's summer going so far? Good?
It's good, man. We 3 weeks in with the summer stuff, 2 with our younger kids. But, idea for us is just don't miss a beat. Just keep rolling. We know that the summer's huge for us, especially on the football side of things, that we've got to get more out of our summer than everybody else. And that's, we try to put an urgency under our kids like that, hey, look, this 7 weeks is not a game. It's not we've got to, this is where we're making up ground.
Right.
So it's been good, trending in the right way.
Yeah.
Going in, I think we got one more week and then we give them off that July 4th week. So
that's what I was going to ask you is when do y'all kind of get a break?
Yeah, we'll go 4 weeks, week off, and then finish up 4 in July with the football kids. And then they kick it off August 4th, I guess, or 3rd, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The girls get out a little, they finish a week early because they start their, volleyball camp starts earlier, all that stuff. So yeah, man, we're trending in the right way. I think kids are responding well and showing up, most importantly.
Yeah, and I think people are catching a little light, I think, on social media, especially Instagram, of y'all's immaculate facilities, huh?
Man,
believe me, hey, look, we just built something brand new, and I know exactly how you feel right now. Everybody's got the same questions, and everybody's like, man, it's so great. It's so
It wasn't supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be like that. I just had a guy reach out. Max reached out and was like, hey, man, can I come to your facilities? I'm like, yeah, sure. come on, man, I'd love to show you around. And he throws a mic on me. He's like, just give me a tour like you would, kids or parents or whatever. And it kind of turned into MTV Cribs.
That's what we actually called ours Denham Springs Cribs is what we did, which, I mean, we have a huge media department here and it's great.
Yeah.
And it's, but I mean, I know the exact feeling you have doing those things. It's kind of like, man, I just want to, I want the office to know I don't even work here,
Yeah.
just leave me in the weight room.
I joke with a lot of people over there. It's like, I don't have to go in the school building much.
Right.
Now, because I'm in the field house and I've got, we're on a block schedule. So it's 4 days or four periods a day for an hour and a half. Well, 3 of those periods I've got athletes, and I kind of joke. I'm like, I don't even know if I would be willing to bet there's people in that school building that don't even know I work.
Yep.
I like it like that.
Me too. The farthest I make it in a day is twice a week. I make it to the cafeteria for lunch duty. And that's it. Like that is, Coach, it's maybe 100 yards, if that, from the field house. So it's not very far. If I don't have to go up there and we're all good, we're all good.
Right on.
So, but I know exactly how that is, man. But it's exciting. It is exciting to kind of show what you provide and kind of people see a day in the life of all the moving parts.
Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people get it, but 100%, like I'm still convinced that there's people that don't know exactly what we do.
Yeah.
Okay. You just work kids out. Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. You're the guy that yells a lot on the sideline and And a lot of people, they see, I don't know, man, I'm a big Kurt Hester disciple.
Yeah.
And he was very, very against the, mustache, tight sleeves, all that. And, there's a time and place for that, but that's not what everybody is,
No. I mean, you can't be.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working, because you're taking 12 to 14 programs. And yeah, your football kids, they respond to that. They love that. They want the juice and the guy and the bouncing around and smacking people and whatever, But if you roll into tennis with that same intensity, man, you're good.
I got him too, Coach. Don't worry about the kids, man. I got mine too running around.
He's fired up. He's up before I am.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man, you've got to kind of be a chameleon, and because you got kids that come in that's not their niche. They're not excited about being there. They're not comfortable in that room because that may be their first experience. So if you come off, full on, juice daddy, you might scare them a little bit.
Yeah, that's how swim, man. Swim is my, swim's not in there wanting to, get their name on the 225 clean board every day.
No,
they're kind of like, we're here because we have to be. So, well, look, tell us a little bit, man. You dive into it. We're obviously South Lake Carroll. It's a very historic program in Texas. I grew up there. A lot of people know who it is. Obviously y'all sent tons of players to the next level. You have a high identity in the NFL too, with guys making it there,
Right.
So tell us a little bit how you got to where you're at, where you've been, how things, and you develop where you're at, man. I know everybody's got a great story.
Well, I don't know. I guess it's a calling, man. I don't know. Firm believer that you gotta work in front of the right people. The right people have to see you work. When I was an English teacher, football coach, baseball coach for 13 years. And I had in my head that I wanted to be a head coach. At Northwest, when our street coach left, he took an internship with Yancey at UT. And so he took off. I kind of asked our AD at a baseball game. I was like, man, who are you going to get to replace him? We don't have anybody better than that. And he goes, well, you could do it. And man, the gears started spinning, and I didn't have my CSCS at the time. I was his football guy. He came to me about lifts, and I would run it for him so he could go with other programs and stuff. And it just kind of grew from there. Gino Pierce came and asked me to come run a site for him in the summers with the performance course. So I went out and ran Azel for 6 or 7 years and kind of got a taste of what strength coach life was like, and organization and planning and all that stuff. And then, Joel took a chance on me and said, man, you can get your CSCS. That's fine. Okay. And just kind of worked from there, man. Worked there for 7 years, 8 years as a strength coach. And then Coach Dodge came in, and he was our OC for 1 season. And then he got the South Lake job. And then they created that position and knocked on the door. So I was like, hey, man, why wouldn't you want to go be a part of something like that? And
Yeah.
so why not? And then, man, they've done nothing. It's been nothing but a honeymoon since I got there. I mean, first year they rebuilt our middle school weight rooms. Second year they rebuilt the high school weight room. Third year they redid the indoor and gave us 20 more stations in the indoor. So we've got 52 stations on campus where there's really no excuse for us not to get our work.
Oh man, that's amazing.
We've got places to do it now, and so it's been really nice. And like I said, man, I don't know what Coach Dodge saw, what he liked, but it was enough. So
Yeah, it was something, right?
yeah, I guess.
And look, I think we all, because I kind of had a similar, like, I kind of knew I wanted to be a strength coach. I kind of didn't. My goal actually was to be a head coach, just like you, at some point. And it was kind of like, why not kind of have similar responsibilities? You get to be around the kids all the time. You can, you're with them more than anyone, outside of really the head coach. And it's, you kind of get the similar responsibilities without all the responsibilities, sitting in the chair and being
going to the booster club and answering phone calls and no doubt.
That everybody wants to be there till it's time to be there, right?
No doubt. I don't know if everybody wants to schedule all the time because it's like they are in off season, right? Well, yeah, they are, but we got 6 other sports in season.
Yep, that's what. There's a lot of computer time, a lot of this time, right? It's
no doubt.
I don't know how you are. I wish I'd have paid attention more in like computer science classes.
Yep.
Learning Excel and learning all this stuff, and not having to teach myself.
Wish I would have listened more. I tell you that, man, because that Google Slides and them formulas, boy, that'll have you rethinking life.
Yeah, and like I tell, I get interns every now and then, and like I tell them, like, once you set it up once, you're good. It's just getting past that initial doing it, and same thing as you, I'm sure, and it's the same thing for me every summer. It's once I get it built, we're good. It's just getting to that point.
Getting it there and getting it inputted. And then, once I try to stay ahead, and like, I'd like to think, in a perfect world, you've got your annual periodization laid out.
Yeah.
But man, buddy of mine, Monty Sparkman up here, he told me a long time ago, he's like, I plan about a month out.
Yeah. And so
I was like, man, I know, we have in theory, this is where we want to be, but kids progress differently, and we're not just going to, progress just to say we did, we're going to make sure we work, especially because I'm an Olympic lifting guy. Like I'm going to teach it, and I think it's worth it. And we can get into that later, but man, we're just not going to progress to progress. We're going to make sure we master it. And my freshmen are figuring that out right now. And I tell them every day, I was like, I don't care about the weight on the bar. You're not going to impress me right now. Like, you're not. Like, yeah, you're stronger now than you ever been. And the idea is that in 3 years, you're stronger than you were then. I mean, but you're moving it right. And so I don't know, man, getting them to understand that and to drop the egos a little bit and to, really hone in on what we're trying to get done.
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, I mean, you got to be a little bit. I mean, it's like, look, man, be smart. Don't be soft.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like don't run from strain, but just, get them to understand strain.
Yeah, that's the I see that more, like you said, with the freshmen. We're in week 3 with our freshmen. I know y'all started a little bit week later with them, but they're just now getting to the point where we're actually catching the bar and are clean. The first few weeks was just kind of, and we'll do winter workouts with them, February to April, kind of get them broken into what I like to call weight room etiquette and just where things go, how the process works, how we dress when we walk in here, things like that. But they're just getting to the point where we're actually catching in that front rack position.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, I don't care if you're cleaning, a plate right now. I don't care if you're just cleaning the bar. Like, I treat the way our freshman schedule is set up, and I don't know how y'all's is, but they're really only practicing 1 or 2 days a week and playing 1 game. So I treat their in season almost like it's
off season,
not so much the volume of it, but like the intensity of it's going to be the same because we're still learning for a year. I still want to see I'm trying to see if you want to be here. Do you really want to do this, So I get exactly what you mean, man. It's a process, and people don't normally see how much goes into it, but it's a lot of time spent questioning and figuring it out.
And man, and I'll be honest, there's times I do get tired of watching the same thing. I'm like, okay, man, I want to progress. And no, majority of the room's not there. Like,
yep.
And I have a bad habit about I'll find the one kid that ain't getting it
Mhm.
and will completely hang my success rate on that kid. Like, I'm a terrible coach. This kid can't figure this out. Like, what do we do? 90% of them are killing it, but
Yep, I know exactly what you
you
mean,
don't know. I mean, that kid, yeah,
Yeah, I know.
he
Yeah,
may
I get
on in. He may be completely, just checked out and probably won't even be with us next year. I don't know, but I find them, and well, I beat myself up about that.
me
But
too, man. And this is probably the best year I've gotten, and we can dive into this a little bit more, but this is probably the best year I've gotten with our girls sports,
yeah,
understanding that, like, I have a daughter who will be here in a year or two.
okay,
And I'm starting to understand more because she's been waking up with me and coming to lift with me in the morning times. Like,
yeah,
I refuse to wake her up because I'm like, if you want to do this, you need to wake yourself up. And she does. I give it to her. She's up at, 4 o'clock every morning. Like, I'm coming with you. Awesome. But I'm starting to learn more and more spending time with her. Like, with our female athletes, it needs to be fun for them to really push themselves.
yeah.
Whereas the male athletes, they push themselves to have fun, if
That's
that
it.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, I'm
And
with you.
I'm learning that more and more. And like, I try to make it more of I've tried this year to make it more of not we're having fun every day environment, but it's more of we're having fun. We're in here to still work hard. And I'm getting so much more out of them because of it.
Turn up the Tate McRae
Yep.
and let them work.
Yep. I let them, I'm glad you bring up some of that is like, I learned this, I saw it somewhere years ago of, I love music just as much as the next person, but a lot of this is for them. It's not, they don't even know who damn Blink-182 is. You know what I mean? They don't like what I like, but I need to mix in some of what I like with what they like, and boom, here we go.
Yeah, Pantera on a squat day doesn't hit for them like it does me.
Nope. But I was in there just a minute ago and I was playing Coldplay, and I got two of those national lifters I was telling you about. One of them's like, "Oh yeah, coach, I can lift to this." And the other one's like, "We need to turn this off. Can I please have the music?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going out of here anyways. Don't worry." But so you hired in 2023 at Southlake. You're the first district-wide strength coach, something that seems like it was pretty heavily supported by the community and everything like that. What's it like walking into a place like that has such tradition already to kind of be, all right, here's the guy. We're starting this program from scratch.
Right. Prior to me there, football was go. I mean, and I've told everybody that, and I told the kids that. I was like, look, you were winning before I got here. Okay, like my job is just to keep you healthy, keep getting you stronger in a scientific way to where we're doing it the right way. And Coach Munn, Coach Sides, we've got two coaches on staff that hold a CSCS on the football side of things.
Nice.
So the template was in place. Like, I mean, we get the most out of our kids. They've been getting the most out of their kids before they got there. It was just a matter of taking that off their plate so they can worry about football. And now it's, all right, I'm taking that template and I'm putting, here's the things I think we need to be doing, right? Here's the progressions we're going to work. Here's how we're going to organize it, whatever. The biggest, probably most proud, I'm proud of my football guys. They kill it. They do. But as far as just getting the other groups, the tennises and the swims and the girls soccer, boys soccer, getting them into it and getting them consistent in it and understanding what, like, we go back to what strain is. And, we don't have to, we're not in here to kill you every day. That's not the idea, right? We're going to leave some meat on the bone for the next day. And I'm not out here to smoke you, and getting them to understand that I'm not just a football guy, right? So winning them over, because you have to. And this, this job, and it's about sets and reps and organization, more organization and organizational mastermind is what it is. Right. You've got to be an organizational guru. If you're organized and you're excited about it, after that, it's just relationships. And I know it's easy and it's cliche and everybody, you can say that about everything. But when the kids understand that you really do care about them and that, hey, you know what? We're done. You killed it today. We got more to do, but we got what we needed. Let's get off our feet. Cause I know you're beat up because just let them know you're looking out for them. And that's probably the number one thing that I would say it probably helped me was getting the kids to understand that, like, I'm here to help you. Like, I'm not here to dog cuss you. I'm not here to wear you out. I'm not here to run you to the bone. Obviously, talking with them, you got to have relationships in order to have conversations. Find out where they're at and what's the deal today, right? Like, why are you beat up so much all the time? And finding out what's going on outside the walls and understanding that those stresses have an impact on how you train. And so I would say that just winning them over, getting them to understand that I'm there for them and that I'm just trying to keep them available. We say it all the time, and I'm pretty sure it's a pretty common thing is that your best ability is availability. You know, you're no good to anybody hurt. You're not good to me. You're not good to the team, and your parents are probably gonna be angry because they spent all that money on you playing these sports, and now they don't even get to watch you play because you're hurt. So big things, keep them available, and so that's from how we talk about nutrition. I would love to say, yeah, we got it locked in on the nutrition, and our kids are, meeting at 1.8 gram. What, bro? I get them.
Says the bag of Takis they're walking around with, right?
Gatorade. It's just trying to put the right information in front of them. Yeah, it'd be cool if we were all locked in like that, but I'm with them for at most 2 hours a day.
Right.
They got 22 other hours a day that they've got to take care of themselves. And so it's just more or less trying to keep them informed of like, this is what it should look like. This is what it is. I communicate a lot of our nutrition stuff through Sports U, like grocery lists and, because, you can tell the kids, but the kids ain't filling the pantry. Mom and dad are.
Yep.
So trying to get that information to the parents as to, hey, this is what it needs to look like at the house.
That's one of my biggest preaches, Coach, is it's like, you touched on it a little bit, two things is like, you talk about the workouts, I'm a real big, just like I'm sure you are with the Olympic base is, I'm here to build athletes.
No doubt.
I don't, football's wired different. Absolutely. Any school you go to, football's wired different. It's going to be more intense. It's going to be rowdier. It's going to be, heavier lifting weight.
Yeah.
But they're still lifting like athletes. Tell me what a football workout looks like. Tell me what a volleyball workout looks like. I'm just trying to build athletes here.
No doubt.
That's like, one of my biggest headaches sometimes is when, I hear the, volleyball parent or the softball parent or the, baseball parent of like, well, we're lifting like football players. No, we're just lifting like athletes. Like we're going to clean, we're going to squat front and back. We're going to bench because I found that kids just like benching. You want buy-in, let's bench a little bit. We're going to look good.
And it's a little, Matt told me it's smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
Smoke and mirrors.
Having some of that, man, it's just like you gotta, like you said, play the game sometimes.
It's
get them bought in,
and that's what I try to sell to the kids. I'm like, and I'll repost, like follow college strength coaches and put it on your story and stuff. But I'm like I don't do that to show the weight that they're doing. I do that to show you that if you intend on going to the next level, this is what's going to be expected of you.
Yep.
So those, 2-second pauses in the bottom and those 4-second eccentrics is not just stuff made up. Like you're going to see that. And the same thing with the Olympic lifts. You and I both know, you can get the power output from throwing balls and med box or box jumps. I know that, but I feel like I'm doing a disservice to the kids if I don't at least teach them the movement so that maybe if they do get that chance, they have a chance to shine in that Devo group when they roll into that, UT or wherever you go. We had a kid, shout out to Eric Garza. He walked on at UT and just so happens my stepson is interning at UT. Okay. So he's on the football side. He knows who Eric Garza is. Eric Garza knows who he is. And he told me from day one, he's like probably the best mover we have in our Devo group. He goes, overall, may not be the strongest dude in there, but dude knows how to move. He knows, his technique has been coached. It's clear. It feels good, but I only had Eric for 1 year. Like that's Eric. Well, I came in his senior year and he was gone in December, but I think he left early. But it's getting them to understand that I'm just trying to put you ahead of the game a little bit.
That's what, I'm sure you're the same way. I pride myself on some of that. Like I want to know that you're ready to go in there. It means I'm doing my job here.
It warms my heart when they come back and like, Coach,
I was ready.
I was ready. Like I might not have been ready for the schedule. I might not have been ready for the load of the expectation, even though I still think I'm proud of what we do. Like, I am like as on the football side, especially because they get a true off season. Whereas my Sockers don't really get an off season.
Soccer, baseball, it's
all the club sports because with volleyball, we try to work around it with volleyball because our head coach is Leslie. She's plugged into the volleyball world outside the club stuff, so she can be like, all right, look, this week they've got a huge nationals or whatever, and this tournament here, we got a lot of girls going, so we can adjust our training there. But like soccer, man, they all play different clubs. They all got different schedules. So I basically just have to treat them like they're in season all year long. We got a couple little things, we have a red light system, if you want to call it that, to where you communicate with me ahead of time. Coach, I got a game tomorrow, or I got a game tonight. How do I need to change my lift? And this was a big thing, because if you're like me, like I grew up in the time where you don't lift on game days. You don't lift day before game. You don't create soreness, whatever. But we're just uneducated, Whereas now it's like, no. Like, I know you play today. That's fine. You can still lift. We're just going to make modifications to the number of times you have to do that movement.
Cut it in half or cut it in.
Yeah, and that's it. We a red light system. A red light means you're cutting a set and you're cutting the reps in half. So even if we're hitting 90 for doubles, let's just say, right? Hey, you're going to come in, you're going to pop that bad boy for a single, which shouldn't be a problem. And you're only going to do 2 double or 2 singles instead of 3 doubles.
Right.
So you're still getting that load. Your body still feels that external load, and you're not doing it enough to create any kind of soreness or fatigue or anything like that.
And that's yes.
If anything, it should make you feel better. Like you going in there and you smoke 90%. Rack it, let's go. You feel good. Let's get it.
It's the confidence part of it. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
The confidence part. 100%. And that's what, I'm not saying it happens here, but I see it happen, the talk about it on social media sometimes is, leading up to those games and all that. Well, you can't take an intensity that you've had since August, and just because you're leading up to the game means the intensity goes out.
Oh, I lost you.
I think I lost Coach trying to reconnect.
You cut out, Coach.
I have stable internet. This is the beauty of this podcast for all of you listening, is that it's real life. It's not this planned out or sitting down doing anything. This is real life. Coach had a little bit of bad weather, so he might have.
There you go. You froze up for a second. I'm sorry.
There he's back. See, I was talking. Hey, Coach, that's what I was just telling everyone. Like, this is real life, guys. We don't sit down and plan this out. Like, a little bit of bad weather, it might go in and out, But
I was about to text you and be like, man, you froze on me.
I think we both froze, but I kept talking. I kept it going, man. But yeah, people, you can't take that intensity since August and then just cut it off because we started the season. Your kids are going to get worse.
To me, and I was thinking about this when, you sent me the list last night. I was looking at it. To me, it's as simple as this. Like, I think one of the things you said, was one of the questions, it was, I don't remember what it was now, but like you sit there and you take the whole off season to build your body, right? To withstand the intensities of the season. Well, when you hit that season, you can't just stop doing it, because then you're going to keep asking big things of your body, and eventually big things you're going to break down, right? Like, I mean, it's that simple. If you do something, you're taking a swing and you're swinging, I don't know, 150 times a day, fine, but you can't dial back when you continue to do that, because your body, you can't handle it. Like, that pars fracture is going to happen. That oblique tear is going to happen, or whatever it is. You've got to keep straining. You've got to keep training your body to withstand what you're asking it to do.
And that's what, I'm real big on. I heard Connor Neighbors used to be the strength coach at UL, and now he's with Coach Moffitt at Texas A&M. I heard him talk one time about riding the wave, and I'm real big on that. If I know that because I have my monthly plan of this is where I want to be at the end of the month, but I write the first week's workout and base the rest of the 3 weeks off that first week, because week 1 and week 2 might look totally different. If we go into week 1 and it's a tough game for whatever sport, or a tough, here in Louisiana, we're real big baseball wise, and softball are tournaments heavy at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So I know that, we got to ride the wave, and it might not look exactly the same, and we might not be able to. We might have to keep that percentage in our periodization at a certain level for 3 weeks, and just kind of build upon there and move the weight fast, rather than, all right, we're going to load up this weight. I've learned that over the years and gotten smarter about that.
Yeah. You do. You have to meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know every coach they've got to, let's say this, they got a pucker moment.
Yeah.
Right. When the game's too big and the weight room's not that important anymore. Every coach does. Everybody does. It could be the Super Bowl. It might be your pucker game. Might be last year's district champion. I don't know. Right. But there's going to be a point where that tighten up, and all of a sudden, hey, we need that extra 35, 40 minutes on the field, or we need that, you need to be in here.
Yep.
Right. And I get it, dude. And that's a benefit of me being a ball coach prior to that. as I understand head coaches, and I tell the story a couple times, not taking shots at coach, but it was, I mean, our volleyball girls, they hit district play. Now, our district is no joke. It's tough in volleyball. So we had Keller and we had Byron Nelson, right? Byron Nelson is 6A Division I state champions in volleyball. 2 times. They were national champions. They're good. They're good.
Yeah.
Well, we were pretty good too. Well, we get into that game. We play them on a Tuesday, and I had baseball, softball going on after school. Girls were coming over after their volleyball practice to live. So I had everything set up, boxes out, timers set. All they had to do was come in and press play and go. And I look in there, and workout didn't run. Boxes were still out. I'm like, okay. So I text coach, like, hey, how'd it go? Right? I was going to see if I could catch her in a trap. She goes, we didn't come over today, coach. We needed the court time. I was like, okay. And I didn't say nothing. They play Byron Nelson on Tuesday, they lose.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Keller comes up the next week on a Tuesday. Keller's good too. Same thing. I think we rolled it back one more time. She did it a third time, and I think it was against Byron the second time.
Second time around, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I said, all right, coach. Hey, none of my business. I said, but every Monday you've skipped, we've lost on Tuesday. Happened 3 times. We lost to Keller, we lost to Byron twice. Said, I'm not saying anything about what I'm doing is causing us to win or lose games, but kids can sense that.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency.
It may not be the greatest work in the world, but the schedule didn't change and the kids want to know why we didn't come lift. And now they see that pucker and they're puckered. Just keep them coming. Just keep them coming. It may be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It might be abbreviated, but just keep the consistency of it.
Yeah,
right?
I don't care if we come in and we're just cleaning and we're doing some buys and tries. I don't care, but we need to have it.
And so I said something to her. I was like, coach, and just after that, she goes, it'll never happen again. And then I don't think they lost again after that. They went on, they ran the table. They won the 6A Division II title. It was awesome.
That's
Cool.
amazing. Yeah.
But again, I mean, it's total coincidence. It ain't nothing I'm doing. But it's like, oh, I just send them. Just keep the schedule the same. And it's kind of a fun story.
We're about to find out.
We had some really talented girls, really special group of girls. And they bought in. It would have been year 3 with them. This is going to be a
great episode no matter what.
That first group was, I guess they were sophomores when they got there. And they bought into it, man. We were just waiting for them to kind of flourish as leaders.
I don't know what the heck's going on.
And they did. Man, it was a fun run to watch, man. They were a good group of chicks. But yeah, so
yeah, man, it's it has to be, you know what I mean? And I have sports like that, but just like you said, coaching a sport still, you are wary of some of it, but at the same time, it's kind of like we still have to get in there and get the work in because it has to be that consistency, that schedule. They end up questioning, especially when you get them bought in. It's like they end up questioning what are we doing? Why aren't we doing? How are we doing?
And it makes me laugh. Yeah. Man, why ain't we lifting?
Yep.
I don't know, dog. Y'all got a time slot right here.
Yep.
It's on the computer right there. I don't know.
Yep. I'm real big on.
I'm not going to sell the head coach under the table. I'm not going to put him out, but just, I don't know.
Yep. That's, I'm real big on keeping dates for everything.
Yeah.
I don't want we're the first ones a lot of the time. I do love this profession, and I find it funny sometimes because we're the first ones to sometimes get blamed of why things are going wrong.
Yeah.
But we're never the first ones of like, hey man, you kind of built these kids up to where they're at. And I'm not saying it's all us because you still got to have the sport coach. They're the X's and O's at the end of the day. But like, our injuries went down this much or like we made it this far with the toughness but we're also the first ones of like, well, things are going bad, we need to take away this first.
Right.
So,
right. No, I mean, it's a fight to stay relevant.
Yeah.
I guess that's life in general, man.
Absolutely.
Just to stay relevant. But for young coaches and strength coaches and guys that are getting into it, like if you're not the voice for it, there won't be one.
Mm-mm.
Like if something's wrong and if they're like, you gotta speak up. You gotta say something like, and shoot a text, be like, hey man, I'd love to see your kids. Like we need them. I just need 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes with them, but you've got to voice it because those coaches, man, they get laser locked in, especially you get a tight district race where every game's important. They've got, wins and losses is there. That's how they feed their families.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you got to kind of goes back to the relationship thing of being comfortable enough to pull the head coach aside and say, look, I got to see your kids more.
Yep.
Like
That's what our
and you've got to be flexible. If I need to move it to during the period or after school, you don't want to do whatever. I'll do whatever I got to take, but just let me get your kids another day a week or whatever.
Yeah, I like flipping ours around just so that what's happy for them, like, because I have a lot of sports in the same block, right?
Yep.
So like for me, it's like varsity boys basketball and varsity volleyball are in the same block.
Yeah.
So it's give and take, when volleyball's in season, they come in first because they're in an in-season workout. It takes me 20, 25 minutes.
Quick.
Basketball will come in the second half. If it's a game day, volleyball knows they're in for 15, 20 minutes. We're game day lift. They know what it is. We're in, we're out. Let's go.
Yep.
And I flip them around in the off season, as volleyball ends, and they start their off season. Basketball is first now. And I like to keep them happy and we balance everything out and the gym time's balanced out. And, they're real good about it. They're real good about coach. We have to, and I'm even okay with coach because I get them 3 days a week, no matter what. I'm okay if we're in season and you're like, coach, like we might bump it down to 2 days a week. That's fine. I get it. But 2 days is better than no days.
No doubt. I've given up as many as going down to one.
Yeah. I've done that with baseball.
It was smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
It was, new coach came in, new coach to Southlake, same year I came in, and it was, hey, we can come in on Wednesdays. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll play the game this year.
Yeah.
Next year, when we get to the off season or the end of the school year, I'm like, look, I would love, give me your kids one more day. It could be after practice and be before practice. You tell me when's good for you, but we need them in here twice a week, and obviously during your tournament time, soccer, baseball, volleyball, one time a week is probably all you're going to get.
Right.
If you're lucky to get 2, I'll take 2. Don't get me wrong, but I also get it. Like your kids are about to go play 6 games and run 18 miles, like I get it.
Yeah.
So we'll stay off the lower half if we have to on that one day. Like, all right, keep your leg fresh. Let's go. Maybe do some type of single leg, like box blast, just to get some kind of output or power output from the lower half. Then, all right, go, get out, go win games. And then usually during that tournament time, I'll try to, if they do give me a second day or they do give me a little more time, I'll try to do some type of recovery circuit for them, where, you're going to go in. It might be a clean complex, and then we're going to grab foam rollers. We're going to, barbell smash your legs and soft tissue stuff, lacrosse ball the feet. All right, get out, and just give and take a little bit. The kids like that. Sometimes the barbell smash, some of them, they don't like it that much. I think it feels great, but boy, get on them Achilles tendons and them calves, boy, them kids start squealing a little bit.
Yep. That's, man, I go, I still lift and everything, and I go see a chiropractor and a masseuse, once a month. And I refuse to let the masseuse touch my lower half because I'm the same way, man. Those calves and those Achilles, I'm like, don't touch.
Pressure.
Yep. Let me just deal with it. Let me just deal with it my own way,
Sweating.
Yep. So, you talk a lot about your varsity sports, but I know you kind of handle that pipeline of 7 through 12, right? And you kind of, a little bit of it, of voice in it all, how are you making sure they're ready once they get there?
Man, it don't go unless the coaches do. You know that, our middle schools, if I'm being honest with you, they're understaffed, they're outnumbered. So organization's big. I don't get to the middle schools enough. I'll be honest with you. Like I'm more of a liaison, a consultant, if you want to call it that. I'm a kind of no news is good news because I've got varsity and JV groups running during the same time they do. So man, we keep it pretty simple. We don't progress them too fast. I know I'll see them in the summers. So that's when I take that time to build relationships. But I mean, we 7th grade, we're in a goblet. Simple stuff, 4-station rotation, just because, they redid the weight rooms. They're not huge. I think we've got 8 racks in there, and there's as many as 140 kids.
Ooh,
so,
goodness.
It gets a little squirrely, man. So it might be, I tried to create more space. I put some outside in the gym, one of the auxiliary gyms, put some hooks in the wall, TRXs out there. And just create station rotation where you got 2 stations in the weight room. You got a TRX station. You got a bench, like using the bleachers for hand elevated push-ups or single leg box blast or single leg step downs or something like that. And then you got like a plyo station with our boxes. And so they just 4-station rotation, 3 to 4 kids a rack, and man, go. I don't get that's downfall. I don't get to my middle school kids enough.
Yeah, and I get that, man. That's something that I think is all of our dreams is kind of being able to be more involved with the middle school so they're kind of ready. I know one of my, same as you, man, my biggest downfall is the female athletes in middle school. I wish I got with them a little bit more. I'm able to get with the male athletes, especially going into their freshman year, that end of their 8th grade, February to April, I'm with them. But and I do open it up in the summertime, but it's more of a voluntary thing. Like if you want to show up, here it is. Here's the times we'll be. And it's strictly lifting. It's zero running. We're trying to make the lifting technique a lot better. But my downfall is the female. I wish I could get somebody down there. I wish I could. I have a plan in my head already. If I could get somebody there, perfect. But we have 3 feeder schools. And so it's like, how do you get one person in 3 places at once?
Said it in one of those videos, man. If I could be in more than one place at a time, bro, I'd be a rich man.
Yep.
It's just not feasible. I mean, just like our wrestlers, we have a split high school. So you have the senior high and you have the high school.
Okay.
It's like 5 miles apart or something. Shuttles run in between. Well, wrestlers stay at the high school. Like they train over there. Their locker rooms over there. Everything for wrestling is at the high school. Well, they share athletic period with football, which is at the senior high. So wrestling is like, all right, here's the block. Go over, teach them what we want from it. Hear the coaches, let the coaches hear me teach it. And then from there, everything's run through RAC. So I'll update the programs through RAC coach, send it to them, or not even send it to them. They just log in and hit play and go. And then as the block progresses, I'll try to go back over. All right, hey, we're going to progress it to this now. It's just almost like kind of like a consultant because you got 3 or 4 sports running through the weight room at the senior high and one over here. And it's hard, man. And I lose sleep over it. I will. But
hey, me too. I wake up in the middle of the night, like stressing about everything. I'm sure the same way, man. Just stress about
just dumb stuff, but it is what it is, man. You just want the best for the kids and you want them all to have the same opportunity, and then it'll stress you out a little bit. But at the end of the day, man, and I have this thought a lot, like we are teachers, we're teachers in the fact that instead of handing you a worksheet or saying, here's your project, look, here's what you've got to get done today. Either you're going to do it or you're not, right? Either you're going to find a way out and slip through the cracks and do as little as possible, or you are intrinsically motivated enough that this is important to you, and while you wish every kid was like that, not every kid is like that.
Yeah. No, they're not. They're not.
I don't know how
wired that way.
I don't know how you transition them like that. I think you just keep them coming and eventually they'll come around, or they'll quit.
One or the other, man. Like it's not for everybody, I think all kids.
Water polo's not for me. If this was part of it, okay, or whatever it is, whatever sport, it doesn't matter. Football, football's got those guys too. Like I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, that's okay.
No, the only kids that blow my mind with some of that is when they go through the whole off season and right before it starts, like I'm like,
quit.
Man, you've done everything. You've done all the hard stuff. Yeah. Like this is it. Like you got 10 opportunities at this point. Like you've done the other, 260 days are done.
Right. You quit right before they wrote the check.
Yeah.
But whatever, I guess.
So you spoke a little bit about this earlier, and I don't know how many y'all have, but the multi-sport athlete, how are you balancing some of that? It's because it's somewhat common these days that kids are specializing. I wish kids would realize, and even sport coaches to an extent, like they're always talking about skill work. You got to get skill work. You got to get skill work. Your skill work should be, I'm a football player and in the off season I'm playing baseball and it's putting me on an island and it's allowing me to be competitive. Although it's a team sport, I have to still stand in the batter's box. I still have to be in the outfield and track a ball. Yeah, exactly. Competing, or, volleyball, I'm going to go jump for track or, but how do you handle some of the multi-sport kids?
We do. We've got quite a few, man. We got, especially our younger guys, some football, basketball guys, a few football, baseball guys. If it's a back-to-back, like, for example, receiver Brody Knowles, he was a football, basketball kid. Okay, big receiver kid. Obviously came out of a 15-week football season, banged up. Like, he went through it. So not necessarily in a huge rush to get him right there where the basketball guys were, understanding that he needs a little time there. He's not in basketball shape. He knows that. Their kids aren't stupid, so it's really not there's not a transition. They just roll right into it and we'll have little modifications here and there and for a few weeks. And then look, man, just buck up and go, Big Daddy. If anything, there's, other sports, some sports are more consistent rather than others during their season. So that's where it worries me, because I'm like, hey, while all your other fall sport buddies are grinding to the bone right now, I saw you one time this week. So just understand that, dude. Like if you have to understand what your body needs.
Yeah.
Like if you still want to excel in this sport too. I'm not saying you've got to do everything they're doing, but I'm saying you can't just shut it down.
Right.
Right.
You're going to be highly disappointed. It's going to be my fault when you come back.
When the old boy behind you slips up on you because you didn't keep yourself sharp in the off season.
Yeah. That's my big thing is I tell them, like, you better not flinch, guys. You flinch, somebody who's worse than you is outworking you.
No doubt. And I mean, that's kind of good to have that. I mean, when you've got depth and you've got guys that can do that, man, that helps, because I had a lot of fire under his rear end.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose what I had. Now, I grew up in a small school where I knew I was going to play. I knew I wasn't going to miss a snap. Matter of fact, I would beg to miss a snap every once in a while, because it's like, punt, kickoff, return. Can I have a second?
Yeah.
Like a series, and that's what we had. We play one side of the ball, when we got depth like you do at the 6A level. And I'm like, how are you tired?
Can you imagine if they'd had GPS vests back then?
You play 60 snaps a game, dog.
Yeah. I'm getting you ready for 80 and you're only playing 60, It's like, man, trust me, you got this,
Yeah, no doubt. And granted, you can exert a little bit different effort when you're only playing 60 to 80 snaps a game versus 120 to 140.
Yeah.
You can sell out for those 60 snaps if you've done it right.
When you're scoring the touchdown and then having to run down on kickoff is not the same as
that's not fun at all.
Scoring the touchdown, the other team goes on a 12-play drive and you get a break.
Grinder.
It's a little bit different,
Yeah, it is.
Well, when you talk about that, man, like some of the way you handle those kids, as far as like, you talked a little bit about it with your sports, sending stuff out, but the handling the balance of the nutrition and the rehab and the refueling and stuff, we all know that, and I tell our kids this, I'm sure you do too, the best supplement you can get is sleep and food.
Sleep is king.
And I tell the kids, like, especially our female athletes, I hear this a lot. I don't want to get bulky. Sweetheart, I don't have you long enough. You don't sleep good enough and you don't eat good enough for you to get bulky.
If lifting weights, I've told him, I was like, if lifting weights is all it took to get bulky, I would be huge.
Yeah. And
I was like, this is my office. Like, I'm in here all day long. Like, I have an hour I have an off block where I could train every day. Like, but if you ain't pumping in that about 5,000 to 6,000 calories and sleeping 8 hours a day, it ain't that easy. I wish it was, but it ain't that easy.
There's a reason that people that are, your elite bodybuilders and people like that, that's their whole life. They're not doing anything else. Like they're living, breathing,
machine.
Every bit of that. Yeah.
Eating when they don't want to eat. I mean,
is your body going to change some, boy, girl, it don't matter. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're at the peak of your muscular endurance in your life, but you're not going to be by any means turn into this jacked up CrossFit,
Physique.
Yeah.
No, it didn't work like that.
How do you balance some of that? How are you fueling them? I mean, y'all got, I think, nutrition stations.
We've got a nutrition room. That was part of the build when the Traditions Club did we kind of repurposed it, because initially, like in our weight room, they wanted to make like this whole wall of just windows.
Yeah.
All right. And which I get, but our windows would have faced the parking lot. I'm like, that's not aesthetically pleasing at all. And in the back of my head as a strength coach, I'm like, that's not going to help us be better athletes. Like, that's not going to help us.
Right.
Having windows in our weight room, that's not going to help us. And so we repurposed that money and put it more towards the construction cost that it would have done to turn those into windows. And that's where we put it into the nutrition room and into the recovery room. And just basically turned 2 closets that were just, one had a washer and dryer in it, which we don't do laundry. The kids take their clothes home.
Yeah.
Wash them and they bring them back. But turn that into the recovery room, and then nutrition rooms, it's essentially is like a little snack bar, man. Protein powder, freaking hydration, liquid IVs, flow water. Try to have some snacks in there, and it's grab and go.
Yep.
Now there's some that take over, that probably go a little too far with it, because I'm like, look, there's 500 athletes that have access to this room. If you come in here and treat this like your own personal cupboard every day, we're not going to have any food. Right, because I mean, those supplies run out too.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
I'm
it's
trying to
you,
make it
you can
last,
only
make
get
sure
so
everybody
much.
has access to it. But we're working on. We re-upped on our touchdown or traditions club. Got us some more protein. Not rolling that out in the summers. And granted, I know protein's not the end all be all, but we live in America and they're going to find carbs, right? And they're going to find fats. It's just trying to get them to get that protein up to where they can grow and they can recover. Now, I know they're going to find carbs and fats, not always the good ones. I get
Yeah.
it. But man, just like with the snacks and stuff, it was Legendary was who funded it for the first 6 months. And the kids, man, it was like just getting those, like, I didn't even know they made these. Like, yeah, it's a cinnamon roll, but it's got 20 grams of protein, right? And it's 2 grams of sugar or whatever, just getting them exposed to that. Like, hey, you find something, man, tell mom to pick it up at the store. Keep that at
Yep.
the house. So you can throw one in the bag. I mean, of course, they know Uncrustables and chocolate milk or,
Yeah,
that's
king.
can't ever fail with that. But, just getting them oh man, this Fruity Pebbles protein is awesome. Well, go tell mom to go get some, have
Right.
it accessible there. A lot of those kids don't know.
No,
So
they
just
don't.
trying to get them
It's
exposure to it. Not married to anybody or any brand. Just
if I can send you home with a few more calories and a little bit of protein, that's what matters. Yeah. Not every kid's dealt the same hand. I think that's what we all sometimes forget, but a lot of the time realize is that not everybody's going after this and they're able to go to Smoothie King or able to go get a Subway sandwich.
$10 on a smoothie.
Yeah. So, dude, that I wish it was $10. I took my daughter the other day. I got a 20-ounce smoothie and she got like some little like fruit bowl and it was like $27. I'm like, when did this happen?
What? When did strawberries get so expensive?
I know. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this ain't even worth it anymore. Like,
yeah.
So,
yeah.
You get some. We all live and learn, right? I mean, there's stuff you probably did last year that you're not doing. You look back and you're like, man, that was dumb. Like, why did I do that? I do it all the time. But some of the, you spent time at Northwest. You spent, 7 years there?
Yeah.
And is there stuff that you did right? You may have said that was dumb. You want to do different that you brought over to Southlake and you were like, you know what, this is how we're going to do it now. And
yeah, one, I would say, man, is I learned to rely on my coaches more, is giving them ownership of it and like when you put a plan together, assign, don't ask like, hey, you're going to run this station. This is it. Like you are the assistants here. Like I can't run 3 stations at once.
Right.
And then they may not feel comfortable coaching it, but they can go start them. They can go stop them. They can go encourage them. Right. Like I don't expect you to go, let's just say, I don't expect you to go teach the clean.
Right.
I'm going to take care of that. But when we're on the movement stations, I'm going to need you here. And when we're in the weight room, I'm going to need you just watching these racks, just going by. I tell my simple, you can do 3 things for me. You can either coach, you can encourage, or you can take videos of kids doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
Any of those 3 things will help me.
Right.
Because I'm never, I absolutely stink at video and putting stuff out. Like, I mean, I'll get some stuff occasionally, but like kids like that. They want to see themselves doing that. And
you talked intrinsic motivation earlier. I mean, there it is right there. Like kids.
Throw it out there on the old gram, man, and kids would love it.
I'm good for about 2 weeks at it. And then I get busy and it's like, damn, like I wish I'd have kept that up because they were working harder 2 weeks ago.
Probably kill it, man. Yeah, get that media department to walk through and just bring your cameras. I don't even care if they're on.
Yeah.
Just walking around with a camera, kids will start showing out.
Yep.
Kind of like when those college logos start showing up in the spring.
Yep.
Like, man, I started.
Man, this is the hardest you've worked all year.
Yeah, brother. Wait, y'all come back tomorrow?
Yeah. I've thought about dressing up friends that they don't have no idea who it is. Like,
say, college buddy, come on, bring a clip, bring a clipboard and wear that Clemson jacket that I gave.
Yeah. Bro, I got to stop watching my desk when you come out there. Just go grab it.
It wouldn't be a bad little, little firm. Like, just let me know, coach, when you need me. I'll send somebody out.
Yeah. Well, you talked a little bit about them helping, and they don't have to do everything. But here we go, the internet. It's my internet. It's got to be my internet. I'm gonna have to get
cutting again, but I'm not gonna do anything stupid.
Great producer and developer Rob to edit some of this one.
Come on back.
This is my internet. It's got to be my internet.
There we go. Go.
Yeah, I think it's mine. I'm up at the school right now, so it's got to be my internet. But again, this is what makes this great is it's real life. But You talked a little bit about, I guess, delegation's the word of getting better at that. Because I catch myself sometimes with this is when you're able to delegate to those other sport coaches is kind of learning from them and collaborating and different philosophies and how they go about things and kind of adopting that into your own philosophy. I'm sure you get some of that.
Yeah. Every coach is going to have their input. Obviously, and at the end of the day, we are an extension of their program.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. So if a coach is absolutely hell-bent against something, right? Okay, we won't do it, right? And it might be that way for a year or two. But eventually that conversation is going to come by. Like if it's something that I know that I can't hide from, like I can't sneak it in any other way, right? Because we go back to the whole smoke and mirrors, right? Like, okay, yeah, we're not squatting, but we're doing this.
Yeah.
Heavy sled push. We're still getting lower body output. But is having those conversations with them to find out, and I do every fall, every twice a year usually, is to where we sit down before the season. That's when I get my schedule of saying, all right, how many days do I get them? When do I get them? How long do I get them? How many kids will be there? So that I can put the whole big schedule together for all the programs and try to make it fit, right?
Right.
In season obviously gets priority. Off season will get what's left over, kind of like you talked about having your varsity boys basketball in season coming in first, getting them out of the way, and then rolling in your off season. Same concept. At that time, hey, what do you think? Now I know what I want to do because I know what the sport demands are.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why we go to the games. Like prior to 3 years ago, I'd never been to a water polo match in my life. Right. But you go over there and you see what the sport demands are and you see what's going on. And obviously just in your head, you can kind of figure out what the sport demands are. But just seeing the kids compete, and more importantly, them seeing me there was huge.
Huge.
Those kids were just like, oh my God, what's up? I'm like, yeah, let's break and go. Drown this ass. Push up on. I don't know.
Yeah. But still, like they love seeing, no matter the sport.
Two cues and then just start echoing that, exactly what you want the coaches to do. Like, hey, freaking head out of water, punch and shrug. Just say that to them. If you don't know what you're saying, that's fine, but just say the cues that I'm saying, right? Just like I go to a soccer game, and now I'm getting better about it. I'm getting better about soccer, but I, cross it and don't just say kick it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Just getting what's important to them. Like our girls soccer coach loves the flies, man. He loves flying tens. He loves it. He's like, Can we do that every week? I was like, I would love to do it every week. Can you give me time to do it every week and not take time out of the weight room for it? Right. And getting them to understand that and trying to get the kids to understand, like, yes, I know you ran a lot. But how much top end did you really run? Did you ever see top end this week? Okay. So now here's what we got having this discussion of, if you don't get exposure to 90% of your top end within 7 days, you're going to start losing top end speed.
Right.
Right. So that's why we fly. That's why you're max recovered every time we do it. That's why we're logging it so that you can see like your body has to be exposed to it. Right. And just try to educate.
That's what you talk about soccer. I'm real close with our girls soccer coach, and him and I went and visited Auburn recently. He's real big on wanting to be in the weight room and be involved, and
love it.
And I have him kind of learning we've got the OVR timing gates.
Yeah.
And so I have him learning it and helping me out and able to, it saves me some time. I trust him. I allow him to go do that and just, knock it out, because he does love looking at the numbers and love looking at this and that, and to where when the ultimate little Ponzi scheme I got going on that, hey man, why don't you come help out with football and just run this part of it so I don't have to be consistently out there doing it and setting it up, and I have somebody that can do it,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, same concept though, man. Learning to delegate, learning different philosophy, different ways of 1,000 ways to skin a cat,
No, no doubt. And I think that's kind of our job. Like we're talking about being a chameleon, is okay, all right, I can get it another way.
Yeah.
And being able to get it in a different way.
Right. And you've seen so much, you're at right at 20 years in your career now, you've seen a bunch of stuff change from the beginning to the end.
What has it?
What's something that's a big, I think technology maybe is going to be one thing that you touch on, but what's something that's technology based or whatever, that's a big change.
Man, 20 years of it. When I first started coaching, and granted I was 25 years old, I'm not strength coach. It's just like I thought, I was under kind of the old impression of, hey, if we're not throwing up, we're not working hard enough. Because that's how we grew up. Or at least that's how I was,
same thing.
You
I mean,
were
it was
puking, or you weren't drained, you weren't working hard enough. Well, you can only work as hard as you can recover. So the emphasis on recovery and the emphasis on what it takes to be able to train like that, and that you don't have to train like that every day in order to get to get your cake and eat it too. Right. Just because you're outworking everybody. Well, you may be outworking everybody, but if you're losing 10% of your kids in the season because you're beat up, because you're hurt, maybe that outworking wasn't, maybe should have focused a little bit more on the intentional, like the intent of the work rather than just the amount of work. Right. And I mean, I think that comes just evolving as a coach and maturing as a coach and understanding the science and the human body a little bit better of, hey, we don't have to strip them clean every day.
Yeah.
Like if we're going to get after them really hard on Monday, Tuesday don't have to be like that.
Yep.
Right.
And that's kind of my thing too, man, is like, especially during the summertime where we have weeks where we go 4 straight days.
Yeah.
My 4th day is really like, I build it in as I don't ever want to call it a recovery day, but it's more of a bodybuilding emphasis day where we're getting in there, and where it's the end of the week, we're going to hit a lot of auxiliary lifts, but we're going to do bodybuilding type movements because we hang clean the front squat on Monday, we heavy back squat, heavy bench on Tuesday, we come back and we do our top to bottom cleans on Wednesday, and we bench again, and then Thursday is going to be our auxiliary. And I think, kind of building that in and kind of, having the temperament to do so,
That and you're getting them exposures to different types of training.
Yep.
We
deadlift. A lot of people don't, they shy away from it. I don't ever max deadlift our football kids,
we'll trap bar max them.
I base it off their body weight.
Yeah.
It's a body weight thing. And like, I'll tell them maybe this week, we're 5x3 at our body weight, as fast as we can move that bar, or we might be body weight 5x1 plus 30 pounds or whatever it is. I'm not the juice is never worth the squeeze to me with maxing, especially straight bar. Now, obviously powerlifting's different because that's what they do, they're gonna, but seeing some of that and, you dive right into, I think it's a perfect time as we're in that transition period. You talked about, when we were coming up, it was, if you're not puking, you're not really working.
Right.
And then we transitioned into a period in this profession of injury prevention.
No.
Well, that's a crock of shit. You can't prevent anything.
I hate that term.
Yeah. Can you reduce injuries?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Strength training, any doctor or any professional or anybody will tell you, as long as you're doing resistance training your whole life, you can reduce the amount of injuries and things you have. So, it's our job. It's our job to reduce 100%. Injuries. We can't prevent. Dude, them kids, you have, just like I do, them kids, I see more injuries of just freak accident things happening. Like we had a young man that had to miss the whole spring because of an ATV accident. It's not.
E-bikes over here.
Yeah. And it's just like, you can't prevent anything, man. Like,
no, you can't live in a bubble.
Yeah. Like ACLs happen, MCLs happen, thumbs happen, like hamstrings happen. Like you can do all the hamstring work or, reduce the amount of hamstring work you want, but that stuff happens. What's going to happen happens.
Yeah. It's, weak things break,
Yeah.
Kid that's, it's just common sense to me. Or it seems like common sense. Like, yeah, that kid's going to hold up if he's handling his load plus external forces and external loads, and that's fine. Yeah, nobody's knee is going to hold up through a freaking high-low where a kid rolls over. I don't care what you do for your lower half. But, injuries do happen. But, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Prevention is a stupid term because you can't. Things are going to happen when you play hard and you play full speed, Now, the non-contact stuff, I take that a little personal. That's always the first one. Like our girls soccer, I get a text. It's like, so-and-so blew her knee out. I was like, God dang. I'm like, collision or no collision? He goes, oh, definitely collision. Girl took her out. I'm like, okay. But that non-contact stuff,
Makes you sick to your stomach.
It does, man. I mean, we had a kid, was it 2 years ago, running back, went to make a cut, and he like hung his toe. And I happened to be watching the film when they were watching it that Saturday morning. He kind of clipped that toe, and when he got his foot down, the knee was out over the toe, and he was trying to cut back left. Knee didn't have a shot, man.
Yeah.
It was like, I'll be honest, I don't know what I could have done to make that better.
There's just some stuff you can't.
Like, I mean, because the kid was he was a grinder. He was always there. Like, he didn't miss workouts. This is one thing if he was a hit and miss kid, but this kid, and he built it back, and he was just heating up there towards the playoffs last year and getting confidence and be able to slam that foot on the floor and go left. Because anytime he would break one, it was right. I was like, I want to see him go left. And then he freaking gets up there in the gap, slams that right foot in the ground and breaks one off towards the sideline. I'm like, he's back.
Yeah.
He's got confidence. He's not in his head anymore. He's back.
Once they reach that after an injury, man, that's the biggest thing, especially any athlete, but high school kids, they don't understand, like when they get, they actually get an injury that keeps them out. It's the mental part of it and just staying involved. Like, I hate when kids just disappear. You don't see them. Like, stay around. Like, that's going to be the best thing for you. We had a young lady last year, freak thing happened. This is the first time I've ever had this happen, but we're cleaning one day and she just doesn't get that front rack up and she broke her wrist.
Yeah. And
we're talking about 3 weeks before, like a month before volleyball actually started, volleyball player.
Right.
But she stuck around. She got a cast. Very next day, she was back in there that Monday with the safety squad bar, squatting still, cleaning with her dumbbell, still doing everything she could, and was able to come back in 3 weeks with a broken wrist and play the whole season. That's awesome. Luckily it was a clean break. Like, we were blessed, no screws, the clean break, boom, in, out. But it does, when kids just shut it down or they think like, I just don't have to be around anymore. Like, that is one of my biggest pet peeves is like, show up, be around. I promise you that your recovery is going to go a lot better if you're around your teammates, if you're showing up, if you're there.
No doubt. Our football, we had D. Ware. He tore his ACL last year in like week 4, I think. Again, running down on kickoff, avoiding a guy, got his foot kind of jumped, kind of avoided. I don't really know, but came down and it gave. He was a freshman. But, our off seasons, we go 4-day split. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday's competition day. And so we have an upper-lower split. Every upper day, his butt's in there. Lower days, he's with the athletic trainer doing all of his rehab stuff and all that. So, him being around and just staying with us, like, yeah, you may not be in here every day. And he would, towards the end, man, he'd come in, he'd start working the stuff he could, and he was released to work. But, yeah, man, and it's hard. I mean, it's hard on a kid because it is in their head, and they feel like they're not a contributor anymore or whatever. I don't know. I never had anything that put me out very long other than a Jones fracture on my foot. But my coach had me sitting in a freaking chair at baseball throwing BP from a chair. Like, there wasn't a way out. I wouldn't take ground balls, but I was still involved in practice. And so, it's keeping them relevant and keeping them. We got a couple of belt squats, so there's really no excuse for anybody.
Nope. That's what I bought safety squat bars for that reason. Like, if we got an upper body, and that's something I got to get better at is keeping them involved. And it's opposite the injury,
And you can, but then if the kid's not wired like that, if it's, and there's people
some just are,
let's be honest. There's people that are going to look for a way out rather than I want to find a way back in. And if they're not programmed like that and you don't have the support of the coaching staff to go pull that kid out of the training room, why? You've got 90 other kids in here that are going. Yep. You can't,
you can't sit and babysit one.
I know, save the one. I get it. But those kids in there need you too, man.
Yep. So there comes a point where the one will bring the ship down.
No doubt, man. If you don't have the head coach in there or assistant, somebody in there pulling them out saying, look, we have this guy for this reason. His job is to make sure that you can stay a part of this. And, absolutely, come here. Yeah. Okay, you can't do that. Here's what you're going to do instead. Oh, you can't do that. Here's what you're going to do instead. You can do that instead. You can do it in the rack. You can stay at the rack with your partners. You can be a part of this still.
I don't understand.
But if you don't want to, I'm not going to lose sleep over you.
Trying to reconnect.
Not like that.
This has been a fantastic
episode,
cut out again. I just want to let everybody know that. It's been a great dive into some knowledge with Coach. And here we are.
So I guess if it is still recording, I don't know. But
don't get
I
it.
guess it's more of it's a community deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's you've got to be on the same page as the head coach, and the assistants all have to be bought in, and we can't be this, well, you know, this guy, you know, he's a big player, so we're going to let him do this, but we're going to hold these freshmen to a different standard. You know,
Yeah.
like
It's a bit different.
I think it lit up some people. I don't know. I had a day during the off season, and I was like, if your best athletes aren't your hardest workers, then you've got a culture problem.
Yep.
You know,
That's half the battle is the
and
culture.
maybe it came off wrong, like, oh well, and somebody's like, well, if they're not bought in, well, if they're not bought in, they're not going to work hard.
Yep. I
You
mean, it's
know,
just,
but it's, you know, and I get being a dude, but at some point in time, I tell the kids this all the time. Right now, yeah, you may be skill level elite. You may be above everybody we play. Eventually, one day, you're not going to be. You're going to be in a room full of dudes that have the same skills, same whatever. Here's your advantage. Be a better lifter. Be a better preparer. Be a better person
yeah.
than them, because the skill level is eventually going to match up. And then you're going to have to rely on something else, whether it be you're just mentally tougher, you've done hard things, you've trained, like, you know it, you have confidence from that, because that's where confidence comes from, is preparation.
Yeah. And to touch
Right.
a little bit on it, imagine if the roles were reversed and you didn't give everything you had every day, everybody would be mad.
Right.
Like, oh, so I can't hold you accountable, but if I don't give you everything I got one day, or if I'm not there one day, your first thing to question is, you know, coach, where were you? Why weren't you? You know, it
Right.
goes both ways sometimes. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't see that. So
Yeah.
I got a few more for you, coach. I know you got a
Okay.
busy day ahead. You know,
Yeah, you're good.
one thing, you know, I know we both have families and we're in this profession, you know, and for our young coaches who are thinking about having families or who have them now and they're younger, you know, what's a way that you know, kind of balance that out, balance family life, balance how you do things at work? I know sometimes it's hard for me personally to turn it off.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my biggest battles every day is turning it off.
I probably suck at that, man. I'll be honest. When I was a sport coach, I tried to make my family as much a part of it as I could. You know, I coached D-line and running backs there for a few years at Northwest. So on Wednesday nights, we would feed my position group at my house so that my kids got to know the kids my families knew each other, right?
Yep.
My kids knew my kids, and my kids knew the kids that I was coaching. And they looked up to them, and they would come over and wrestle with them, and just so that my wife and my kids didn't feel awkward. Like they want, oh, I like that kid. He was so nice. Blah, blah. Well, good. Come cheer for him. Right. And so you've got and not because I just die to have my family at the games. Yeah, it's cool. It's great. I mean, it's always great to have their support, but just try to immerse them, man. Like bring them around. Our coach, fortunately, since I've been at Northwest, every coach that I've worked for has been really good. Their wives have been good about creating like a little sisterhood,
Yeah.
right? To where they have a ladies' dinner and they get the girls together and bring the kids and have a coach's party and let the kids run around and get into trouble or whatever they do, you know. But man, and this is the part I suck at, is when I get out of my truck and come in the house is giving my family the same energy that I just gave 500 athletes all day long.
It's hard.
You know, and I'm convicted by that. I know that. I know there's days when I come home and I plop my butt down and sit in that recliner because I'm just spent, right? And maybe I need that reminder of, hey, maybe you need to drive around the block a couple more times, go back, swing through, get another energy drink so that you can pour into your kids and your family just like you poured into those kids. If anything, my family gets the short end of the stick, I would think, on that.
Yeah.
Be better about it. But like I said, man, like you said, busy dad, like, no, me and my 13-year-old about to go to breakfast here in a little while because he, you know, just dad and boy going to eat some, you know, biscuits and gravy or whatever, you know.
That's the best, man. Those are the best
try
little
to
moments.
Spend time with them when we can, you know, get home, give them my afternoons and my evenings, like in the summer when I'm busy in the mornings, and just trying to, you know, it goes fast, brother. I mean, we were once a house of three because me and my wife got married. My stepson was 8, the one that's interning at UT now. Well, now he's 22. We got a 13 and 11-year-old, and they're in all the stuff. And it's just trying to be present for them too, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, if advice, easier said than done, is leave work at work. You know, when you lock up the facility, then leave it. You know, and you don't always have to be there. You know, I have a FOMO. Like if I take a day, I'm still texting coaches like, hey, how'd it go? Hey, what'd it look like? Or better yet, they're texting me like, hey, check this out. And I'm like, yeah.
I can't believe I missed that. Like, I'm the same way, man. We squatted heavy, the heaviest of our summer so far this past Tuesday, and I wasn't there. And
Yeah.
I'm hitting up kids like, "Hey, man, how was today?
What
Like,
was it?
how'd you feel?" Like, because of course, if you text the coaches group chat, they're gonna say, "Oh, it was the best day
It's
ever."
good.
Yeah, See, ours they like to throw it in your face, like, well, "You weren't here. It was the best day ever. Like, best day we've had all season, all year." And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so I'll hit up the kids and be like, "Hey, man, how was it? Well, Coach, I hit this today, and I felt like this, and da da da." Like, I have the FOMO too. I was like, not that, and I'm a lot better than what I used to be. I used to think I had to be here all the time, and da da da. I've gotten better at leaving it at work. And I've gotten a lot better of, bringing my family and kids around. My biggest issue is, like you said, is giving the same energy, or sometimes being able to turn off I don't know what you call it, the drill sergeant.
Yeah.
I get home and it's like, I see one little thing on the ground and it's tough for me to like, why wasn't this picked up today? Why didn't you do this? Why, it's like, all right, let me take a step back. They're kids, they're learning too. I gotta teach them at this point in their lives, not just hammer them out, so I get it, man. It's
Another Monty told me this a long time ago, man. Because he's a buddy, like well beyond professional friend. I mean, that's how we met, was because we were strength coaches, and that's where Matt told me, he goes, "Hey, when you get into this, you need to go visit him. You need to go visit Keith. You need to go to these guys, see how they do business, and just develop it for your own." But Monty, he's like, "I get it, Doug." He's like, "Stress, whatever." He goes, "But you need to understand this. If you died today, they're gonna post your job tomorrow.
Yep.
So don't get too hung up on it, and that's something that stays in the back of my head. It's like, yeah, man, maybe I make it out to be a bigger deal than it is. And it probably is. And, in my head, it is a bigger deal than it probably should be.
And I know people get annoyed with me too, man. It's like, to me, this is the end all be all. Like,
yeah,
this is it's the most important classroom on campus. It's the most important job on campus.
Yes.
Like, to me.
And it should be.
And to everybody else.
You're the only one that's going to voice that.
Yep.
Right. Like, you're the only one that's defending strength and conditioning, and why it's so important for every kid on the campus. Right. I mean, that's the way we're supposed to be, I guess. So, but yeah, turning it off. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's where I need to be better. My wife was actually standing right there. It's like, I want to hear what he's going to say.
Yeah. I know if my wife was sitting right here, she'd be the same way. She'd be, what's he going to say right here?
But she's a saint, dude. She's good, man. She gets it done and handles all the things. The calendar lets me know where I've got to be. Hey, can you be here this day? Yep, I'm gonna finish baseball at 5. I'll be at his game at 5:15. And try to be everywhere at once. But
yeah, insurance called me yesterday asking me questions. I'm like, you need to call my wife. She handles that. Here's her number. Like, don't call me about this anymore.
My mom.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I got one more for you, and it's actually been my favorite question to ask on this podcast. We do random, just get to let our listeners know a little bit, and it's a three serious question. You're in the weight room, you're working out, you're trying to get motivated. What's the go-to song or genre or artist?
Limp Bizkit.
Okay. Yeah. I like Limp Bizkit. I know some people that don't, but I like Limp Bizkit.
Hey, that was my time frame, man. That was they were 96, I think, when they came out. So I was a freshman. Testosterone's building. Right? It's just that was a different generation of music, of tearing stuff up and just getting after it. I liked it. It was kind of like a little hip hop kind of rap / rock. I don't know. That's
them with Kid Rock coming out around the same time, and
anybody that would have been on any of the Family Values tour, back in the late 90s, I would have been. I'm down for
there. What about movie? You getting ready to get motivated? What are we watching?
Movie.
Or even not motivated, man. Like, my favorite movie is Good Will Hunting.
Oh, that's a great movie. Definitely a top 5. Movie is going to get me going. God, I can't remember what the name was. I want to say it was Gladiator, but not that one.
Yeah.
It's got Harding in it. That big Jack, he got him and his brother a UFC fight. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Oh, Warrior.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
I think it's dope. Like, my man just.
Yeah. Oh, Tom Hardy was huge in that movie. Yeah.
Toilet paper rolls.
Yeah. That's a great movie, man. It really is,
man. And I'd never seen it. We watched it at Northwest one day, and it's one of those movies like I want to show my kid, but like, maybe not yet. But man, that just any of those. Rocky 4 is probably my all-time favorite. How much can one guy take movie? Just him and the Mad Russian, just
It's the best one. I mean,
and you got, you've got your tech. It's kind of like the battle between a VBT training and old school just grinding,
absolutely.
And not that I'm banging VBT. We work it a little bit, mainly just to drive intent, but just good old, how much can one guy take? Just slugfest.
Put me in a barn and let me lift.
Give me a cross tie, a sack of rocks.
Yep. So last one, you're stranded on an island.
Okay.
What's one piece of weight equipment we got? This can be something functional that'll help you actually, survive, or something that you lift with.
Is the barbell, is that included as the one piece?
Yes, it can't be. It's not barbell and weights. It's barbell. It's I've had a lot of different answers here.
Yeah. So if I can have a barbell but I can't have weights, God, I saw that and I was like, man, I'd say landmine, but you got to have a barbell and a landmine. But you know what? I might say, damn, that's tough, brother.
Yeah. And I've had, it's funny, the different
probably
people. Barbell?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't have to have the landmine. I could always, just dig a hole and let it rock her down in there. But it wouldn't have weights, so you're kind of limited, but you can always, tempos, time, you can make it harder.
You can do a lot of different stuff.
I'm a barbell guy anyways. Yeah. Like when we designed that weight room, I was like, I want as many bars as we can get in here safely.
Dude,
so
I love that. I got 2 per rack. I got an Olympic bar and a power bar.
We got bars. We went with Texas Power Bar. It's all American bar, so it's got the knurling in the middle.
Yep.
But they're like, well,
we got those in. Yeah, we got those in our Olympic room.
Good. We'll have proof that we're catching it deep in the rack, and you'll have that little barbell hickey. You'll be okay.
Yep.
But yeah, probably just a good old fashioned barbell, man.
I've heard it all. I've heard battle rope to trampoline to kettlebell, because it's all about the way they think. Some people.
I was thinking to be honest, after you said no way, I was thinking maybe TRX.
Yeah. Some people, like I had an athletic trainer on. She said battle rope because in her profession, her mind, it's keep everybody safe. So I'm going to take a battle rope to figure it out. Chris Martin, the strength coach for LSU baseball, said trampoline because he said, if I'm stranded, I'm gonna have fun at least. I get it. It's all about the mindset, man.
No
and
doubt,
I love it.
Man. I wasn't even thinking about entertainment. I was thinking about what can I get the most work done with.
Yep. So, Coach, look, man, I've had a freaking fantastic. This is one of the best episodes we have, although the internet and on my end kind of messed up a little bit, but it makes it better. I had computer die recently. I thought it was charging the whole time and had to finish an episode by myself. So
there you go.
But look, people want to follow you. Instagram. I think it's what was the Instagram tag? I have it, but
Coach, I don't even know, dude. Let's see. I think it's Coach_Castleberry, I believe. I don't even know how to find it. Is that bad? I don't know. If you look on Instagram, just look up Doug Castleberry.
Yeah.
And it'll come up. But I think it's, there it is. It's up top. Coach_ and then Castleberry.
There you go. If y'all want to give Coach a follow, see what he does day to day, see a little bit inside the life, how you balance it all, how you balance family, how you balance work, and kind of see some pretty proficient lifting and a lot of athletes going on. Y'all give Coach a follow. And, again, Coach, we can't thank you enough for taking time out your day, coming on here, and we're very excited for this to come out.
Absolutely, man. No, I appreciate you having me. It's a good time.
Absolutely, brother. Well, if y'all need anything else, y'all go ahead and give us a follow on the Moffitt Method on all social medias. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and go ahead and give this a follow when it comes out. It'll be on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
That's a wrap on another episode of the Moffitt Method Podcast. We hope you found today's discussion enlightening and empowering as you continue your journey in sports and strength and conditioning. Before you go, make sure to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where we share more tips, behind-the-scenes content, and updates on upcoming episodes. Just search for Moffitt Method Podcast and hit that follow button. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite listening platform. That way, you'll never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, we'd love it if you could leave us a review or share this podcast with a friend. It really helps us out. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, the key to success is just one more workout away. Until next time, stay strong and stay inspired.